Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Muhammad Ahmad Firdaus Bebarudin and this is my mini project ECG 263. My lecturer is Madam Asbida binti Alias. My metric number is 2019403742. My group is EC110-4M. This is table of contents. First, introduction. Second, methodology. Third, findings. Fourth, discussion. Fifth, conclusion. And sixth, references. We will start with introduction. Students have been given a task to conduct a soil classification project within the vicinity of their area. Soil samples are to be collected and then conduct soil experiment and field identification that can be associated to soil mechanics fundamental concepts and describe the soil in the terms of water content, particle density, particle size grading and texture, density testing, and permeability testing. Now, we will go through methodology and findings. For a heads up, the soil sample that I take is from the park near my house. This is water content test. Objective, properties, apparatus, procedure have been stated.
Okay, now it is time for the water content test. So here we got the soil sample, and then we got an empty container, and then we got the weighing scale. So let's start. Firstly, we need to weigh the empty container, and then we record the weight of the empty container. Now, we put the soil sample into this container. Then we measure the weight of the container and the soil sample. It is 297 grams. Now we will let it under the sun for 5 hours. After 5 hours, we will measure back the weight of the soil sample. 263.
This is the result that we got from the experiment. The moisture content is 14.29%. This is the particle density test. Objective, properties, apparatus and procedures have been stated.
For the particle density test, now we will measure the weight of an empty glass container. It is 45 grams. Next, we will fill the jar with soil sample. Next, we will weigh the soil sample with the jar container. It is 113 grams. Now, fill water. Half of or 3/4 water into the soil sample in the glass jar. Now we put the soil sample under the sun for 5 hours. After 5 hours, we need to shake the water and soil. Shake it until it is mixed well. After that, we will add water until full. Next, add water until full. Then, after we fill it with water, we need to weigh it. The weight is 405. Now we will fill the empty glass container with water until full. Okay, now we will measure the weight of the water with the container. It is 370 grams.
These are the result of the particle density test. The particle density that we got is 2060 kg per meter cube, and the specific gravity is 2.06. This is the particle size gradient and texture. These are objective properties, apparatus, and procedures.
These are the apparatus for the experiment of particle size grading and texture. Now it is 32 grams without the lid. So now we will add 300 grams of soil sample. Now we get 300 grams without the weight of the container, because I have made the mode on. If I move this soil sample, it will become negative 32, because that is the container without the lid weight really is. Okay, first we're going to measure the weight of this filter. Okay, let's put it on the weight scale, and it is 203 grams. Now we will measure this filter. It is 69. And the last one, this filter, 8 grams. Nice. So now we will need to measure the length of the hole, and this one is, as you can see, it is 7. Alright. It is 0.7 cm, so it means 7 mm. As for this filter, as you can see, it is 0.5. And for this calendar, you can barely see it through the camera, right? It is actually smaller than 0.1, so I will take a guess. It is 0.5 mm, right?
Now we start with the first filter. We pour the 300 grams of soil and then we filter it.
Right, this is the mass of the soil retained from the first filter or calendar. 379.
I didn't use all of the 300 grams because after this the orange one cannot.
And this is for the second filter, and the weight is 149.
I use from the left one of the green.
As for the last filter, this weighs 35 grams.
These are the results. This is the field density test.
We need to find the diameter of the can. It is 7.5. Now the length is 11 centimeters. For the field density test, we will need a can, and then we need to measure its weight. It is 55 grams. Now let's go to the field. After finishing, collect the soil into the
This is after 5 hours
can.
of
We will need to
laying under the sun.
measure the weight of the can and the soil. So here it is. Now we will check. It is 791.
These are the results. It's the permeability test.
Okay, here are the materials.
We need to find the
It is
diameter of
around
the nozzle
2.5. The diameter of the water bottle it is
because it is the same as the soil.
8 cm.
After we compact it, it needs to be compacted first because we don't want the soil to fall into the bottle.
Set the stopwatch
We don't want it to fall
and mark
into our
the
situation.
initial height.
So
As you can see, the drip has fully stopped. Then we mark the height of the water.
these are the results from the experiment. Now for discussion. The moisture content that we've got is 14.29%. The particle density of the soil is 2060 kg per meter cube and the specific gravity is 2.06. The type of soil based on the particle size and gradient texture test we've got is silty sand. For the bulk density is 1433 kg per meter cube and for the dry density is 1253.828 kg per meter cube from the field density test. For the permeability test, we've got 1.595 times 10 power of negative 3 centimeter per second. Conclusion. The purpose of this project is to make sure the student shows the appropriate techniques in soil engineering problem with awareness of their limitations. Students can also determine the correct experiment for every fundamental concept that's stated in the question. The result of the experiment depends on the ingredient and type of the soil sample. The result also depends on how the experiment is being conducted. The below are the precautions of handling the experiments. References. These are the references that I use for my experiments. That is all. Thank you.